So we are at the Z-Max today. Nice, gorgeous day for racing, as it turns out. No rain, clouds in sight or anything. And that's what I plan on doing. I plan on actually being in the mild, 12-second class. Because I'm not 100% sure where this thing sits, but I mean, it is mostly a stock RT. It's not like it's a Hellcat or anything like that. So I think I stand a pretty good chance of running in the 12s, quarter mile at least.
Yes, that was a Mustang.
Yes, that was a Mustang. So basically, yeah, I will be competing for the first time ever, actually competing in a class. On the drag strip rather than just fun runs and stuff. Now I might do a couple fun runs just for shits and giggles off camera or whatever, maybe on camera, I don't know. But I do plan on competing in the 12-second street class. Just to see, you know, how far I can go, how good I can do. I'm really fully expecting that I'll be eliminated in the first race, but you never know until you try. I'm just sitting here waiting in line and I see this gorgeous little older Corvette. Look at that thing. It is beautiful. I love that blue and white. Like, I don't like blue and then white.
It's still okay.
Camaro. So yeah. I didn't mention before also that this will be my first trip down the quarter mile in this car. It's usually always 8th mile tracks. So I don't know where I stand in the quarter mile bracket at all. So we're going to be finding that out as well. Get this out of the way too. So I came back over to the Challenger to just kind of make sure I wasn't in anybody's way, all that kind of shit. And when I came back over here, kind of found a bit of a problem. So my hood is just standing open right here. For some reason it's not closing at all. There's this huge gap right here. So basically, I'm not going to take this thing down the track like this, and I'm going to be very shaky about taking it back to the interstate to go home as it is, but that's my only option. But I don't want any wind catching that at high speeds and ripping it straight up into my windshield or anywhere else. It's just an absolute hazard, and it's not worth ruining everybody's race day for it, including my entire day. But basically, for some reason it's not latching back down. Like the basic latch holds onto it just fine, but that's not going to be enough. All right, so I found a pretty cool little car here, and I don't know if I've ever said it on the channel, but it's one of my dream cars. If you haven't guessed it yet, look at that. We got ourselves a Lotus. Just any of the Lotuses would be amazing. Got this wing that just kind of runs off like a ramp. Anyway, I've got to go do some problem solving. I can't be caught up in the Lotus for too damn long, so let's get this going. So I'm not going to claim, I'm not even going to come close to claiming that we fixed the problem. Big shout out to MXA Motorsports once again. They did the tuning on this car, as you probably remember, for this little mild, like extra horsepower and all, and to make sure that my headers were safe to run. They also did the install of the headers. They were the only ones that would do it. They're the only ones that would do Hemi tuning in my area that I could find at the time. I think I found another shop that can do Hemi tuning, but I'm going back to MXA Motorsports. They're kind of, you know, they're going to be my go-to shop for the foreseeable future. But big shout out to them. I mean, and apparently all it was, I'm not opening up the hood to show y'all. I'm not going to take that risk. Probably has it fixed for the time being, but like, if the hood comes open, it's going to be by force of wind going down the track, and hopefully not even then. So, because I'm not opening it by my hand. But he just tightened down the little rubber stobs. Well, first he tried like fiddling with the lock. He got it to push back in and release. After that, he tightened down the little rubber stops on both sides, and it opened up, closed down, it opened up, closed down. So it went well twice in a row. So I think MXA Motorsports came through once again in a very different way, but they came through once again and they solved the problem for me. So we are good to go for a quarter-mile run today. So yeah, we're gonna go figure out the rest of the day right now. Not too damn bad. I can't be too mad at that loss at all. Might have been the first round and all, but I'm pretty proud of my launch on that one. It was a good launch. I almost lighted the first moment there, but I managed to stop myself before I lighted. I was trying to get my revs up a little bit for launch, and I ended up kind of losing the braking power to it. So I almost completely lighted on it. But I ended up being able to stop myself before I completely lighted. I backed up, and we tried again. Good thing I didn't completely light on that one. But I ran, for my first quarter-mile time ever, a 13.790. So I cannot be too mad at all for stock and for my first quarter-mile run. Alright, so yeah, I forgot to do the outro, so I'm doing that now. It's the next morning after, and I'm going to have to finish up some editing here and get this, you know, this outro part in. But, yeah, I had a great time. I had a great time at ZMAT. Kind of borked on my launch, because while I was trying to do my foot braking, and I accidentally overpowered the brake with the gas, and I almost red lighted. Since I didn't, I just backed up, and I kind of tried again. Didn't quite get as much foot brake in as I wanted to. Played it safe that time. I think I still would have lost either way, but I think I would have cut better than 13.7. But still, I have my first quarter-mile time pass, and that really is what I'm happy to have. The mile per hour, I was going 103.12 miles per hour at the quarter-mile time. I don't know if I kept it in, but I said earlier at the track when I was looking at the slip that I was going 81. I was not going 81. I was going 103.12 in the trap speed. So I was moving pretty good. Me and the Camaro, we weren't too far apart. He was going 107.86. I was going 103.12. So we're pretty close. It wasn't too far off. It was a damn good race. And honestly, I'm not disappointed at all. I mean, for one thing, I finally got a quarter-mile time pass, and I finally got to go down the quarter-mile instead of just an eighth mile. And I'm excited to see what I do to this car coming up, and maybe to the 300. Speaking of which, stay tuned. Let's just say there's an issue that has cropped up the day before the race, and I decided, you know what? I'm like anything with the 300, I'm going to make a video on it. So 300C content will be coming up as well. Hopefully I'll start doing more things to the Challenger, which with the little issue that I ran into with the hood at the strip, I think it's safe to say that this hood behind me is going back on it, and the fate of the carbon fiber hood is yet to be determined. But I don't seem to be able to sell the thing as I have tried to do, so there's not very many other options going on, and I'm not going to have it sitting around in here because I know I'm not going to ever use it again. So I'm going to have to figure out something to do with it. Anyway, if y'all like the video, hit the thumbs up, give me a subscription, turn on the notifications, you know, all that good jazz down there. Comments are available, and oh yeah, my Instagram is linked in the description of every video as well. That's the really good one right there. And I will see you all in the passenger seat next drive.
That was a quiet one. What the test is.
And that was the quietest drag race.